Let's talk about boundaries, right? Okay, so I grew up in a fairly chaotic family. There was no routines, there were no scheduling, there were no real habits, and it was hard to rely on my parents because of various circumstances. And so I learned to get used to chaos, basically, where it was something new, a different rhythm every single day, something unknown every day, something surprising every day, or disappointing, to be more honest. And so that became familiar to me, like to my nervous system, to my mind, to my body. That became comfort, right? But the problem with that is it was quite destructive because there was never pockets or a boundaries, time zones created where my body could just fully relax and not anticipate something to go wrong or anticipate having to make a new plan or having to abandon plans. But it is what is familiar, so I keep going back to it. So, learning more about boundaries and learning more about routines has really helped me to settle back inside my body. It's not entirely comfortable yet, but I wanted to share what I've learned so far, specifically from source, because a lot of this is like downloads and stuff that I get when I ask about how can I look after myself better, how can I care for myself better. Because to be quite frank, I'm kind of used to neglect, and I don't want to be anymore. I don't. That's a big no now. So how I've learned to look at boundaries, right? Which is like I like looking at it like a circle. But my favorite part about that, right, is if you think about sport. So for example, soccer, right? If you look at a soccer field, you can see all the outlines and like the half line and like the goals, you know clearly where the goals is, right? Hint, that's important. So you know where to score and you know where to aim, right? It's clearly defined when you go out of the bounds. It's clearly defined when you score. It's clearly defined when there is a yellow card or a red card. Um, and that is kind of what routines are and familiarity is when it's healthy. Is those things, those parameters are clearly defined within your life. So, for example, for me, or for like a person, it would be it's a goal. Like I score a goal each day, or each time I show up to brush my teeth, or to eat nutritious food, or wake up at the same time. Because time is also important, right? Because meeting that event at the same time every day allows like a multiplier interest effect to happen inside your body and in the universe. It's like when you go to the same coffee shop every day, you start meeting the same people at that time. So even the people become familiar, not just the coffee and the baristas, but even the people become familiar, and you build a relationship with them. So it's just an extended version of familiarity. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of still playing around with how do I show up at the same time, at the same place, doing the same thing every day or continually when I don't feel like it, when it feels shit, when I don't feel like getting up, when it feels easier to watch TV or fall back into old patterns. And they just keep telling me, oh, I'm going to pause for a second. And the answer that I keep getting is start with one thing. Start with one thing that is super exciting to wake up to, right? So at the moment for me, it is waking up and having this very loud thought of good morning, of having not like how, depending on how the day will turn out, but good morning as in like practicing excitement, practicing cultivating excitement and focus on one thing, not everything that I still need to do, but focusing on where I am, like which is morning. And I decided the morning is good. It's a choice. And in that will build up familiarity. And the reason why I keep hounding on the word familiarity is because if a family didn't show up in the way you needed to, you need to build your own family. And that is a extension or an participant in the word familiar, right? The reason why family can be so supportive is because it's familiar. You know them, you know how they operate, you know how they respond and react, and how you react with them. So it builds a great foundation to try new things from, right? Usually. And so you can build that for yourself with your routines. And each routine, each block of your routine you build becomes a new family member of your life. This is not to exclude your people family members at all. This is to build upon it and build healthier relationships with yourself and others by building routines, clear boundaries, where everyone knows what the goal is and where to score and where to win, instead of just, I'm not going to use the words going with the flow, but instead of just, aimlessly running around like chickens hoping you connect somewhere. Because that's kind of how I've felt my strategy has been for most of my life. But yeah, so using these constructs of like seeing boundaries as an experience I'm curating for myself, a game with clearly defined goals, has been very beneficial. And then learning how to understand that routines is going to be uncomfortable for me at the start. And the more and more I show up and practice routines that I love, that make me excited to get up. And I don't mean in a way where it's like, I'm excited to get up for McDonald's in the morning. Even though I did do that in the beginning. Not McDonald's specifically, but something that, wasn't my ideal version, but it was something that I knew would get me up in the morning. So that was coffee. And now coffee doesn't agree with me at all anymore. So now I need to find something else. And right now that is getting up to water my plants. A little garden that I've started. So I pick one thing that I focus on that makes me really happy and has a high payoff, where I can see there is growth. And it doesn't take years. It's something that takes like a week or two. So I can see the progress. And that builds confidence that I can, through routines, kind of achieve my goals and growth and dreams. And it builds confidence. But yeah, that's how I'm currently busy exploring boundaries and routines. I'm kind of excited to now create like the first hour of my morning to build a very specific routine where it's the same thing for that hour, like every day for a month or so. Because this uncertainty in my daily life is keeping me away from my dreams. So I need to build something where I know it will be the same for that first hour in the morning, and it will be the first, and it will be the same for the last hour of the day, so that I have those two pillars to help me relax back into my body and into my breath and nervous system, so that I create the sense of reliability in my relationship with my body and my mind and my heart and my spirit. I don't know what they're going to be yet, but that's part of what I'm gonna plan throughout today and tomorrow. Very, very tiny ones, like they need to be built on what I already do. They just need to be like a bit more implemented. But definitely watering my plants, my little tomatoes that I'm growing. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Let me know how you have explored boundaries and routines in your life and what has worked for you or what has not worked for you. I would love to know.